This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham. I have got John Williams back with me. You are the Executive Director of the Ontario Maple Syrup Producers Association. Welcome back.
Thanks, Kathy. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. This is our yearly talk about
Yes.
Maple Weekend. This is a big year, a big time of year for you guys.
Yeah, very busy, very busy.
And now tell us where you're at.
I'm just south of Midland, Ontario, the southern tip of Georgian Bay, in the hills of Tay Township.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a really nice spot, rolling countryside, and yeah, a very historic area, Huronia.
Okay. And you're the Executive Director as well too for all of Ontario.
Correct. Yes, I'm a maple producer myself. We have about 3,000 taps. And then, yes, I'm the Executive Director for Ontario.
Okay, and you have a big weekend coming up, April 5th and 6th. Let's talk about that. Maple Weekend.
Yes, Maple Weekend. This is going to be our, I guess technically across the province, it's our 9th year of running it. And we'll have about 75 producer members across the province opening their doors for people to come in and see what it's like to make maple syrup. You know, smell that smell of syrup coming off the evaporator, maybe even taste it warm. We have people, you can taste it warm right off the evaporator if we're boiling here on those days. And it really, that's the biggest thing about this event, is we want people to come out and really experience what it's like to be in a sugar house or a sugar shack, and see what it's like to make maple syrup. And then it depends on our participants exactly what sorts of things they offer. It varies from operation to operation. You know, we're a smaller operation, so we do things like taffy on snow, and which I put in the freezer because this warm weather has rapidly melted the huge piles of snow that we had. And you know, we do tours in the sugar house here, and we hope to be boiling on those days. We often are. Other producers, we were talking about wheelers earlier, have big pancake operations. And so you can take advantage of that. Each individual operation is slightly different, and so offers different things. That's why we have a big website, mapleweekend.ca, and you can go on and see, you know, who the participants are in your area and what they're going to be offering. So.
Absolutely, and that's what I did too. Was I went on your website yesterday, full of lots of great information and everything like that too. Some of the local producers in our area, in the Lanark area, are Oliver's Maple Works. We've got Temple's Sugar Bush, Wheeler's Maple Products, and Fulton's Sugar Bush and Maple Shop. So those are some local people that people watching our show may recognize, and I encourage to go out and visit them that day.
Yeah, Thompson Town as well.
Yes.
And yeah, there's a couple there. I think there's at least a dozen or more in the Lanark area.
Yeah, so check the website out, and you'll be able to find out who's the closest one to you, and go out and visit them that day. Now, again, I'm looking at your website too, because when I talk to you, we get to talk about all of Ontario. And in 2024, 607,000 gallons was harvested.
Right.
Yes. In 2024.
Yes, that's correct.
That's
it was a fairly decent year last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was an increase of 20% from 2023.
Yes, 2023 was a particularly bad season. We had for a lot of people, it was very warm early in the season, and so that was a problem. Yeah.
Okay. So what's this year like for you?
Well, it's always an adventure, and it seems the more we advance into this age of climate change, the more exciting each year becomes. You know, we had very high hopes with a lot of snow. I mean, I know out your way that the snow came later and quickly, but here in the you know, the snow belt off Georgian Bay, we've been getting dumped on snow since Christmas time. And so we had, most of the winter here we had 4 or 5 feet in our bushes, and it
Wow.
was pretty hard to do a lot of work. Yeah. Um, so the cold was good. We were hoping maybe for a more typical season, but unfortunately, we got off to a nice start. But then in the last week, we've had some really warm temperatures. Where we've been pushing 20 degrees here on a couple of days, and we really don't like to see that early in the season. And in fact, for us, it has meant our syrup has already gone down a grade from amber to dark syrup. With only about a quarter of our production done, which is unusual for us. So
Absolutely. I
but
mean, climate change really has made a difference too. Like when I was younger, you knew when winter was, you knew when spring was. It was almost, by the week. But now you just
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, exactly. And so what we're really hoping for at this point, we've got a couple more warm days coming here, not quite as bad as before. And then it looks like the weather's going to settle back into a more seasonal pattern. So um, hopefully that means, if we can get through this, it won't shorten the season too much. The problem for us is with the warm temperatures, that starts the healing process on the tadpoles we have in the trees. And the more warm temperatures we get, the more that accelerates. So it can shorten our season. And I'm hopeful that we haven't hit that point, and now we settle back into some more seasonal conditions. We'll be able to keep going for a while yet. So it's not over yet.
No.
A little worried, but as farmers, we're always optimistic that the outcome will be good.
Yes,
So,
and no matter what you harvest as a farmer, you're dependent on the climate, aren't you?
yes, yeah, exactly.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure. Now, do you have buckets out or do you have lines out?
We put a couple of buckets out for our event coming up here, but for the most part, we use tubing. I only have 2 sons, and they don't live with us anymore, and so I don't have a whole army to go out and collect all those buckets. So yeah, we use the tubing systems.
Excellent, excellent. So for more information about Maple Weekend, you've got a website. Can you tell the folks what that is?
Yeah, mapleweekend.ca, and we have ontariomaple.com, they're all kind of the same setup, but there's lots of information about maple syrup and recipes and everything there. And the Maple Weekend portion of it, you can see where all those participants are and what kind of activities they offer. And then you can see them on a map too, so you can help figure out how to navigate. And what we're finding is more and more people aren't just picking one place to go to. They're making a day of it, and they might visit 2, 3, or 4 different Maple Weekend participants in an area, just to see all the different operations and taste the different syrups and have fun.
Yeah, and absolutely. There's just different things to learn at each one, depending on the size of
Yeah.
the business and what they've got to offer as well too. Wheelers, they've got museums
sure.
as well too, but just even to
That
get
museum
outside.
the museum is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, really interesting.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So Maple Weekend is both Saturday and Sunday, April 5th and 6th.
Yes, and from 10 till 4, and there's no charge for the basic admission. Some people, of course, may charge for pancakes or a horse-drawn ride or those kinds of things, but the basic experience is no charge, and come out and have fun.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we look forward to it. It's just a big sign of spring too. So.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. And pray for some, I know people like to have the warm weather here early in the spring, but pray for those -5 and
Yes.
+5 kind of temperatures. That's what'll keep us going and give us a good season.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we will pray for you for sure because we like maple syrup.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us again, John. John Williams, he's the Executive Director of the Ontario Maple Syrup Producers Association. Thanks for joining us for our yearly talk about maple syrup.
A pleasure, Kathy. Take care.